Welcome everybody to the FILA Sports Podcast. That's the Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast. Two local guys talking local sports. It's your boy Coach Mario, and I got my co-host Don. What's going on, man?
What's good, y'all? How y'all doing this evening? Uh, I got a message to say to y'all this evening, but I'm gonna say it in a little bit. But tonight we have the one and only head coach of the Atlanta Blaze. In case y'all don't know what Atlanta Blaze is, it's a national lacrosse league team here in Atlanta. Uh, Mr. Liam Banks, he's on with us. So, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Also, share this content with other Atlanta sports fanatics. Also, hit that like button and hit us up in the comment section. Now, before we get into our catchphrase, I got something to say to some of y'all. Now, we're doing big things over here, all right? And we had a new show coming out this Wednesday, Rivalry Week, all right? This is the mastermind behind Coach idea. Coach came up with this idea, all right? But we've been working our behinds off hours on end each single day trying to get people to come on our show like experts. These ain't just people that just fans, just casual fans. These are experts who cover their school teams. All right. I done worked hard on artwork, all this stuff. All right, and people want to come bash us on this. Um, the guy, I ain't even gonna give him any shine on the guy on Facebook. I'm not even gonna give him any shine on that. But here's the thing on the rivalry show. It's not just talking about UGA. It's not just talking about Georgia Tech. It's talking about all Georgia teams. All Georgia teams. All right. So if you got offended about the artwork or whatever, or the weekly schedule, then hit us up in the comment section. You already know our DMs are open. Our DMs are open. We're not excluding anybody from the college the rivalry week show. If you a Georgia school, we're gonna talk about you. We're gonna recap games. We're gonna preview all the games. It's just the show is called Rivalry Week. So whichever the biggest rivalry that week, we that's the focal point of the show. That doesn't mean we excluding other teams out. Like for instance, this week is gonna be Georgia Tech versus Clemson. All right, Georgia Tech versus Clemson is a bigger rivalry than Georgia versus Vanderbilt. I'm sorry. All right. So we're gonna cover UGA and Vanderbilt. We're gonna cover other college teams too. So don't get offended. All right. And I just tell people, come watch the show. Just watch the show. If you watch the show, you see that we cover all teams. We don't exclude any team from our fan base. All right. This show is for you guys. It's serious. It's for you guys. And for the guy who said that Southern and State rivalry is bigger than UGA and Florida, come on now. Now you sounding like you real biased. I'm gonna be professional. I ain't gonna say the word, but you sounding real biased right now. Anybody that's gonna sit up there and tell me with a straight face, Southern versus State is a bigger rival than Georgia and Florida, you got to be out of your mind. I promise you. November 2nd, it's gonna be more. It's gonna be more people in Jacksonville than it is in Statesboro. And that's not the not Southern, and that's not the not State. It's just that's just the truth. We'll give y'all the truth. All right. And for that person and anybody else who think they can do a better job than us covering teams, Georgia teams, hey, by all means, by all means, look, come take this from me. Come take it from me. If you think you can do a better job than us, because I promise you, you're not putting in all the work like we've been doing for the past several months. Let's get that straight. When you come at me, you come at my homeboy coach, and you come at Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast, it's personal. I take it personal because we work our behinds off to get where we at now. We have a head coach on right now of a professional Atlanta team. How many local podcasts can say that? How many, coach?
Zero. I'm sorry, I thought it was rhetorical. Zero that I know of.
So my thing is, if you think you can do a better job, come take this from me, or start your own. If you can't, do what you do. Do what everybody else do in the city, in the state. Do what they do as always
Come holla.
at your hometown sports podcast. Let's get the show
Come,
started, man. Let's introduce Liam Banks. How you doing, Liam Banks? Sorry about the rant, man, but I had to put some people in their place.
No problem. There's always those keyboard warriors who think they're real tough on social media. Yet
there you
you
go.
come out and try and ask them to deliver, nowhere to be found. So don't worry about the haters.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thank you. I'm glad you can be on the show with us. We had guys. Sorry, I know we said 8:30, but we had some technical difficulties, and Coach Banks, he had some issues with his audio, so we had to get that fixed. And luckily, we got it fixed for the most part. So, but glad you could join us. All right. So go ahead.
I was about to say, Coach Banks. I have to say, like, I hope this. I hope you aren't offended by this at all. But man, you look like Better Call Saul. You guys, man, you have a striking. I don't know that actor's real name, but man, you have a striking resemblance to him. All right, I'm sorry.
That's good. That's good. Oh, that's a great show. The guy from Breaking Bad, little spinoff. That's right.
Yeah, I like.
That's right. That's right.
I don't even watch TV like that, so y'all pretty much got me. So
when you first got on, that's why I did a double take. Like, hey.
Okay. I'm just hoping I got as many zeros as he does in his bank account.
I know. Right. Hopefully you aren't as crooked as he is.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Okay, but let's get started. Let's run down the weekend sports, and then we'll get into some lacrosse talk. The Atlanta Dream wrapped up the season Tuesday. They lost to Chicago 87-83. Friday we took on New York here, and we dropped that. We actually won that one 87-90. And
first
today,
now first we won. Thank you. There is a God. Yes.
Back-to-back wins. Back-to-back wins. That was the first time this year. First time this year that we had back-to-back wins, and we won today, 73-77. And that today was the last game, or was it next week?
Today was the last game. What?
Yeah, today was for the Dream. Yeah, because they're not going to the playoffs.
Yeah. But hey, at least they finished the season off with a bang. They won the last two games, and hopefully they make some coaches changes, because I feel like they losing all these games. The girls are talented. It's just the coaching.
Hey, Don, we got a head coach on.
I know.
Can't be
to
get fired.
I know, but I'm not talking about the Blaze. I'm talking about the Dream.
We got to play nice.
Yeah, we play nice.
Yeah, we don't bash on this show, Coach. We don't bash.
We talk positive, but we do speak the truth, though. So.
Yeah. What the Braves do this week, Don?
All right. Well, Tuesday, they played the Marlins, and we won that game 5-1. Wednesday, we played the Marlins again. We won that game 5-0. Thursday was it was kind of a tight game. We won that game 3-2. Friday was a historic night. Acuna, he got into the 30-30 club. 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases, and we won that game 2-1. Yesterday we won against the Mets 9-5, and then today we beat them 2-1 to close out the series. So it's been a great week. It's been a great week for the Braves. That's what, like 7 straight wins, I believe they done had. So, and look, it's about to be September at the end of this week. So they playing like this. Hey, we may end up, don't have to play in that wild card game, because I really don't want to play in that wild card game. Well, I don't want to play the wild card team, but I think we're gonna end up winning the division. So, because Philadelphia is not doing well right now. The Nationals, they struggling, and that's about all the teams right there. Mets pretty much. What'd you say?
I said, when you get late in the season in baseball, anytime you can save some arms, it's a positive. So being several games up and being able to call up and let one of the AAA guys come in and start a game, or like you say, not having to play a series, just helps you out being able to save arms.
Yes, And then we signed a veteran, the catcher, Francisco Cervelli, and he had a great game today. These past couple of games, he's been doing good. So that's good for the Braves. All right, Hawks. Nothing really going on with the Hawks right now, but they did unveil their new home court design, Peach State. So it looks nice. I like it. It's last year, it was the 50-year anniversary of the team in Atlanta, and then this year, I guess they, paying homage to the Peach State. So it looks nice. I just want to. I can't wait to see how the uniforms gonna look. I think those uniforms gonna look nice. So, all right. So what the Falcons do, Coach?
Well, everybody know we had a preseason game Thursday. Washington, yes, we lost another preseason game. We lost 19-7, but we did have some positive from the game. The O line played better. Gano and Carpenter definitely played better. We saw some plays out of Dejan Sanat. Duke Riley made some plays. We saw an explosive play from Tech with an interception. We were just able to generate pressure consistently through the game. Uh, Shade from the game, special teams as a whole, special teams period were bad, and Tavecchio missed another kick. And I think I got some sub tweets about Montevecchio because I've been on the thing. I've never said that if I've never said I didn't want Matt Bryan there. I just said I understood that the organization moved on. You can only pay so many people. So like we said, the organization, you have to save money because what if a starter goes down in preseason? If a starter goes down in preseason, you don't go get a guy out from the scrap heap. You don't get a practice squad guy. You try to go sign a guy of starter caliber. So that's why they're keeping money in reserve. So but anyway,
And going back to the Matt Bryant situation,
mhm.
like trust me, I would love him to be on the team, but you gotta look at the business aspect of it. Like we don't have the money. We don't have the money, and say if we did splurge on Matt Bryant,
Yeah,
okay,
we wouldn't have any savings.
and then this
Basically,
man and knock on wood, I'm not saying he get hurt, but what if he get hurt again and
can't
be
even
out
sign
3 or 4
another
weeks?
kicker, and then you
Exactly,
can't even sign another kicker.
and then you go that's eating up more cap money. You pretty much you pretty much robbing Peter to pay Paul. You can't do that. Like, but this Blair Wash signing, I think this will be okay. But the thing is, they're gonna compete. Him and Tavecchio, they're gonna compete. And
Yeah.
shouts out to the real Pat man. He pretty much made a good idea, and I think this what may end up happening. Dan Quinn, he probably end up doing this. They're gonna both compete, okay, for the starting kicker position. Now, need to remind you, we have one preseason game left, but the first 2 seasons of the game, of the week of the season, Rashid Hateman is going to be inactive because of the suspension he has to take. So on that 53-man roster, we can have 2 kickers, right? And then after when Rashid Hateman suspension is over with, we'll cut one of the kickers who underperformed. So it'll be like their preseason. The first 2 seasons of the game will be like their preseason tryouts. That was created by the real Pat man, by the way. So I think that's a good idea. That may end up happening. We may end up having two kickers on the roster week 1 and week 2, and see how they do in the games. And whoever does the best, we keep them and cut the other person.
Look
So
like possibly in the game, OZ and Green maybe didn't deal with the lights as well because both of those guys muffed punts and they both look bad. Green looked like they both, to me, it looked like they got sight of the ball right before it came down. He was waiting knee, so Green put his hands up weird and awkward, and you never catch a punt like that. And then you saw OZ, he was 3 yards away from the ball. Then you saw him at the last minute trying to dive. So it looked like both of those had some issues with maybe the lights of the Halo board, but
yeah.
gonna have to get that cleaned up.
And then
Um,
on top of that, you got to realize they play outside. They didn't, most college teams they don't play in domes. So
yeah. Yep. So that raised Kenyon Varner stats stock for staying on the team as a punt returner. Grayson Duke, Jermaine Grace is playing awesome, man. Jermaine
yes,
Grace is playing awesome. He's making plays every week. like you just said, we signed Blair Walsh. We also signed Stephon Charles and defensive tackle and a tight end, Thomas Duarte. Pretty sure he's coming in for the last preseason game. These guys aren't going to make the team. Just some cap bodies for the last week. Non-Falcons news. Andrew Luck retires from football.
Yeah, a lot of people bash them for doing that, but like I said, man, you ain't never played the game. I'm talking about just like practicing and getting yourself in football shape year in and year out. It takes a toll on you. Any sport, by the way. All right, it takes a toll on you. And for people to sit up there and criticize this man for making that decision, like I just don't get it. This man has been hurt a lot. And people saying, well, he got a line now. Yeah, now it's a little too late. This man just got hurt again in preseason. He's 29 years old and he having all these injuries like this now. Like, I'm not trying to say anything bad about Luck, but this man, he want to live out the rest of his days. You know? He want to live out the rest of his days, so I just don't get the why people criticizing him of retiring.
Yeah.
But
All right.
Go ahead, Coach.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, but like I just don't understand that. Like he's been hurt a lot, so hey, that's his decision. That's his decision. I wish him all the best. But you didn't mention Duke Riley, man. Duke Riley had a good game.
I did.
Thursday. Oh, you did?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. I did mention Duke.
Yeah, a lot of people got upset about that when I mentioned that, and yeah, some people, he still sucked. And I'm saying, okay, well, y'all gonna continue the same people that continue to bash Duke Riley and Vic Beasley and Matt Ryan. They're gonna continue doing it. But just keep in mind, like I said this before. Keep that same energy for every single player. So when your favorite player does bad, criticize him too. And I'm done with that topic.
Not much on college this week. We're saving it for next week. We got a rivalry show coming up Wednesday night. Make sure y'all tune in. Yes, I know UGA did get a commitment. We're not going to talk about 10th graders committing. What's going on with Atlanta United, Don?
All right, before we talk about Atlanta United, let's go back to that rivalry week show. Mm-hmm. So the focal point of the show is the rivalry for that week, the biggest rivalry for that week. We'll cover it. So Jeff B and Rob Sanders will be on with us that week. On Wednesday. So just tune in. But we're also going to cover all Georgia collegiate teams, no matter what. So just tune in. It's going to be a great show, you guys. All right. But as far as Atlanta United goes, so we played Portland last Sunday. We won that game. We won that match 2-0, and then we played our rival, Orlando City, and we won that match 1-0. Josef Martinez, he having a historic scoring streak, still alive at 12 straight matches, 7 goals. He done scored 7 goals against Orlando. All right, that's the most. That's a lot. Now, the team is also in discussion with the National Women's Soccer League, NWSL, for expansion here in the city. I would love to see that. I would love to for us to have a professional women's soccer league. That'd be big. That'd be huge. All right. And then, in case y'all forgot, we have the U.S. Open Cup final. We have that match this Tuesday against Minnesota. So, if you haven't got tickets to the match, you better get them before they sell out. I wish I can go. If I ain't had to work, I would have went. So, all right. And yesterday we had the Atlanta Steam play in the playoff game against Seattle. They came up short in that game, but congratulations. That's pretty much give a job well done to those ladies. Shouts out to Amber Clark and Key State Beaston. They did a great job this season. So, and we hoping they come back on the show again and talk about some more Atlanta Steam. We also had a game yesterday against we had a game yesterday. The Blaze, they played Chesapeake, and we came up short in that game, 13-16. So, That segue into our focal point of the show today, Coach Banks. So tell us about the history in the city, in the history of lacrosse in the city.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me on, guys. I love to hear that you guys got that local flavor for sports and not just the Falcons and the other sports. But yeah, the Atlanta Blaze has been here. This is our fourth season here in the city. Lacrosse has been growing here in Atlanta for the last 10 to 15 years. I moved down here about 12 years ago, and I have history in lacrosse, playing at Syracuse University, and came down to kind of grow the game down here. And since I've been down here, it's been amazing to watch it grow. We've hosted, top college NCAA lacrosse. We've had Duke University, Syracuse University, North Carolina, Notre Dame, Denver, a slew of top 5, top 10 teams come down here and play. And then about, I think it was 2013, we did a little test with a Major League Lacrosse game, and we had then Rochester Rattlers come down and play the Boston Cannons, which kind of parlayed into Major League Lacrosse having their championship here a couple times, and eventually having the Atlanta Blaze here. So it's been incredible. We have 2 professional lacrosse teams here in the state of Georgia. In Major League Lacrosse, the Atlanta Blaze, who I coach, and in indoor lacrosse, which is the National Lacrosse League. It's a different style of game, and they have the Georgia Swarm. So if you like high-end sports and you like high-end action, there's 2 places to watch it. But my preference is the outdoor game, which we play, and it's a fabulous game. And the way that pro lacrosse is, it's very exciting, very easy to understand, a 2-point line, hard-hitting, and fun. So, I really enjoy the game of lacrosse, and just amazing to see the way it's grown here. You look at the high school players that are moving on. I think last year, my program that I own and run, we sent 50 kids to play Division 1, 2, or 3 lacrosse, and with over 40 of them being Division 1 players. So it's fun, and Atlanta's certainly embraced it.
Okay, yeah, I want to hear more about that because, I was a product of soccer in the streets. It was pretty much a urban soccer league to pretty much get kids pretty much off the streets, and have them play rec soccer. So, where do you guys have lacrosse teams at?
They're all over the greater Atlanta area. And, one of the things that we did a couple weeks ago is we had to get out and play before one of our games, where we brought a lot of kids in from, the urban and diverse areas in the city, and brought them up for a game for free. They each got a stick, and they got to play. But our owner, Andre Goodger, with the Atlanta Blaze, is really taking a focus on creating a plan that gives people of all backgrounds and opportunity to play. I think it's the one thing that's missing in lacrosse right now is that it's expensive to play, it's expensive to travel, it's expensive to be on team. So we're working on, as an organization, different ways to break through, to partner up with YMCAs around town. We got a guy by the name of Brandon Perkins who's done a great job infiltrating some of these communities, and we're hoping to launch a version of a game called Speed Lacrosse coming up in the fall, where really what you need is a tennis ball and a lacrosse stick to play, and you play in smaller numbers. You don't need all the equipment. You develop a love for the game, and then you move on from there.
Okay.
Cool.
Can I give a suggestion? Yeah, that is. Can I give a suggestion? Do y'all have a lacrosse league in Summerhill?
I don't. Do we need one? Let's go.
Look, man. Look.
It sounds like you're volunteering.
Well,
I don't know if we should give those guys any sticks.
Look, man. Look, don't talk about my neighborhood, man. Right? But look, look, my brother, he played lacrosse. He used to go to camp in Maine, Camp Winona. I don't know if you heard of that camp before. It's up there in Maine.
Yeah.
They played lacrosse a lot up there. And, he came down here and, told me about lacrosse. I'm like, lacrosse? I'm thinking like cross country, like, running or something. And I was what, a preteen at the time. So he brought the equipment and everything. We got on the field. I'm thinking like, okay, I'm an athletic person. I can get this down pat. Man, I'm telling you, lacrosse is like one of the hardest sports I've ever played. It's harder than golf.
I'll have to fight you on that one. Golf, I think, maybe the hardest sport out there. Lacrosse is a beautiful game, and you're correct in the beginning. It is hard to play because you need to have really good hand-eye coordination. It takes repetition. It takes the time to throw against a brick wall or throw against a wall that's going to bounce that ball back to you. It takes time to learn how to handle the stick, but once you do it, it is incredible to see what athletes can do while playing the game. There's so much crossover with other sports. There's crossover between football and lacrosse with the cuts that you're making, the physicality of the game. There's crossover with soccer, understanding triangles and give and goes. There's crossover with hockey. It's one of the only sports where really there's room behind the goal. So in hockey, there's a little bit of space. In lacrosse, you can actually turn a defense around and then attack from behind the goal, which is very unique in a sense. I mean, think about basketball. If you could suddenly go behind the rim, turn a defense around, how many alley-oops you'd have over the top with dunks coming in. So, but you're right. It is a hard sport, to get. But once you get that and you understand the basic fundamentals of catching and throwing and hand-eye coordination, it becomes really beautiful. And the things that I see week to week, whether they're behind the back, between the legs, cross hand, that these guys are doing on our team, it really is truly amazing. But I'll tell you what, it's you put your work in. It's just like kind of that book, The Talent Code, right? 10,000 hours of perfect practice makes you an expert, and it's that type of work and determination that creates good lacrosse players, and it's kind of why they come in all sizes, right? You got guys that are 6'6" and 220 and beat the heck out of you, and then you got guys that are 5'8" and a little stockier, but their stick skills are fabulous. So it's kind of the unique part about the game that we play.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah,
we got a
go into the chat real quick.
yeah.
Coach. Go like
That's what I was about to do.
start
We
all the
got,
way up
we
from
got
the top because I see a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we got a couple of people in the chat. Thanks for everybody that joining us. We got Z, Tiff Rains has joined us. Mad Mike has joined us. Uh, Brian Skills has joined us. Jonathan and that Georgia boy is also checked in. Thanks everybody. They go ahead.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, he said, Coach. Oh yeah, you said the Don hooked it up. And yeah, Z. Yeah, you couldn't hear me because my mic was down because I was pretty much upset earlier. Um, Man, Mike talking about the dang Don is heated. Yeah, like I trust me, man. We do this stuff pretty much we do this for free. There ain't nobody paying us to do this. You do stuff for free. You doing it with a passion. So like, but hey, like I said my piece on that. Um, okay.
So Mad Mike had a question for Coach Banks.
All right, and then
Yeah.
skill. I'm just reading. Okay,
Yeah, they were
yeah,
talking about the kicker. Yeah.
lacrosse talk, and then I'm definitely trying to get into more talk. Yeah, I'm glad you could join us, Matt, Mike. Yeah, we talking lacrosse on here, so I know you excited about that. Skills talking about some this be pulling guests from anywhere. That's why they call me the Don. Skills. That's why they call me the Don. All right, and then go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. What question? What question Matt Mike had?
We had one of the people in the chat, Coach Banks. He wanted to ask, what would you call your coaching style? Like what um, I guess I don't even really know how to preface the question. Well, I
Yeah,
guess
yeah,
Go
Yeah, we
ahead.
like to. Listen. First of all, fundamentals are really important for me. I like fundamentally sound players who do
Okay.
the right thing. But for me, we like to play a running gun style, right? A little
Okay.
bit risky. We're up and down the
Yeah.
field.
All right.
It's almost
That's what I was
like in
looking for.
football. In football, right? You got an open backfield, 5 wide, right? That's really
Okay.
where we're at. We like to get up and down the
Cool.
field and try and score in some transition. And then when we're playing defense, we want to get out and we want to kill people. I mean, we want to get out and beat them and make them think about coming through the middle and be really physical with teams. So that's kind of our style of play.
Okay. So there would be an antithesis to that. That some teams are strong defensive teams, some teams are so different style. Okay.
Correct. Just like in any other sport, you play to your strengths. And our offense is really strong. We didn't score enough goals last night and let up a couple
Yeah.
too many. But, really we lean on our offense to outscore people, and that's the way we like to play.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
It's all that spread offense I've been watching down here in the South.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So Z he asked, did you play professionally, and how long have you been playing lacrosse? So how long you been
Hey,
around? Pretty much how long you been around lacrosse?
Yeah, when you get introduced to the game.
yeah, I got introduced. I grew up on Long Island, up in New York, so I got introduced when I was probably 5, 6 years old. I've been
Uh-huh.
playing since then. I played at Syracuse University, which is one of the top schools in the country, most of the national championships in NCAA history. I like to call them the Alabama of lacrosse, if you will. Tough one in Georgia to say, but Alabama stacks up national championships, and I see you, man. That's what Syracuse does, right? So I was fortunate. In 2000, we won the national championship, and I was named MVP of that game, which was a pretty cool
Oh, okay.
day.
Okay.
And then when
That's what's up, bro.
I graduated from Syracuse, I moved on. I played 5 years of professional lacrosse. So after about 5 years, I decided family was what I was going to do, and retired. And I've been coaching a lot of club high school lacrosse ever since.
Okay.
And I didn't want to ask this question because I knew somebody, my brother just texted me. I knew that somebody was going to ask. What is the salary range for professionals? I was like, I don't want to ask this man how much they. I knew someone was going to ask. What's the salary range for a professional lacrosse player?
I think that's a great question. I think that it's anywhere between, probably 15 to 50, and then guys have their own side deals, right? It's not a full
Okay.
time living. Guys do make full time living off of this, right? They create their own brands, they sign
Okay.
sponsorship deals, and
I see.
and they run their own businesses. But right now, guys, we got guys that are working during the week that are flying in on Friday, practicing with us, and playing on Saturday, and then getting back home. So league is still in its infancy, much like MLS soccer, probably early late '90s, and but it's one that guys like your brother, we need them to show up at games and help these guys out with salaries, right? The bigger the crowds get, the bigger TV money gets, and then the bigger the salaries are. And it's certainly trending towards being a full time position. But right now, we got guys that work hard and come and play a lot for the love of the game.
Okay.
Do you know about how many fans you guys average or the league averages for a home game?
Yeah, I think the league average is somewhere around 4,000, and right now
Okay.
we're doing about 3,000 a game, 2,500 to 3,000, and
Okay.
we're hoping our last game in September 14th down over at Silverbacks Park against Boston that we pull a big crowd, playoff implications on the line, and
Okay.
I think that the thing about lacrosse is once people kind of get introduced to it, they really really attach to it. So you come to a game, you check it out, you're definitely going to want to come back.
Okay.
Cool. Cool.
All right.
Um, how many teams are in the league?
Yeah, so there's 6 teams in the league. We got Boston Cannons, Chesapeake Bayhawks, New York Lizards, the Dallas Rattlers, and then I'm missing one, aren't I? Denver Outlaws. So the Denver Outlaws play out at Mile High, Broncos Stadium. The Dallas plays in Jerry Jones practice facility, which will be out in a couple of weeks. We were out there last year. Really cool place, state of the art facility that they have there. New York's up at Hofstra. Boston just built a new facility. So a lot of cool venues and a lot of cool places to travel to.
Well, I've been a major league lacrosse fan my whole life, and I've never liked Dallas.
Yes, good, good, good. Anything attached to Jerry Jones is tough to like,
Exactly right. Immediately, I know I don't like
right?
Dallas.
All right. Cookie by Nature he said some people in my class said they work with y'all. Wouldn't mind joining the staff when I graduate.
Let's
Well, he.
go. We always want young, talented, energetic people. It's a cool thing about being in lacrosse. It's a newer sport, so people have a little more access to the pros than they normally would, and it's also an opportunity to kind of put on a lot of hats and learn. So tell them to hit us up. We're always looking for people enthusiasts about sports.
All right, you heard that, Devontae. Going out there, get you some credentials and go ahead and start working for him.
Be ready to
Z,
work though.
Z had a
Levante, he'll work. Like
I like that.
yeah, he covers the Atlanta Dream, so he's just trying to he can get his name out there to get
That's right.
media credentials. So
He's a good friend of the show, and he's our basketball expert. So when we have basketball questions, we go to Devontae.
yeah,
Beautiful.
Z had a good question too. When what months do you guys season run through? What's the off season like? Training like? Can you give us a little insight into that?
Yeah, I mean our season, first game's in June, right? So we started in June. We have about a month of training camp before we have guys come in on the weekends. We're in the back end of our season now. The Final Four, which is basically the top 4 teams, will play for a championship, is August 3rd and August 5th out in Denver. So this is a final home stretch in September. No, it's the start of football season, but it's also probably the most important time in our year. So, it's a big run for us. We need a couple more wins to get to the playoffs, but that's the time of year. And then when we get in the off season, it's a couple months of making sure your roster's right, get preparing for drafts, working with our analytics team to find the right guys, and then also just talking to guys about staying in shape, sending them the right plans, and once in a while setting up kind of a scrimmage against a college. So we try and stay touch 365.
Now, you were saying drafting and things like that. Do you pick the groceries? Or is there a GM, or do you scout, or do you depend on scouting reports, or are you going to college games yourself? How does that work?
Yeah, a little bit of all of it.
Okay.
We've invested in an analytics team, and we're trying to reshape really the way analytics are done and stat keeping done in lacrosse, and kind of forward to think there. And we're the only team that really does that. So I depend on the analytics guys, and we rate all the players out. I got a general manager who gives us a lot of good information as well, and then. Between us, we put together a little formula with our owner's input because he's a knowledgeable guy, and then we make our picks. So we all do it together. It's important to pick your own groceries. I hate going to the store and asking my wife to shop for the week, and suddenly there's no snacks up in the cupboard for me. So a lot of healthy stuff and no snacks up there. So I like to shop for my own groceries, but we've done a really good job of preparation in our drafts, and we've reaped the benefits because of it.
All right,
All right, John, you answered Jonathan's question,
yeah,
Coach Banks, because he asked about the playoff system, and he said it's a
yeah.
Final Four, and then they playoff, and then they playoff championship
Yeah.
game. So, thank you.
Is it single elimination?
Oh yeah, single elimination. So play Friday night, and if you win, you're still in. So we're sitting right now in third place,
Okay.
half a game above fourth place. Some teams nipping at our toes and about a game out of first. That's how tight it is right now in the league.
Okay.
A lot of parity in this league.
How many games in the total season?
There are 16.
Okay.
All right. So who is the Blaze rival? Do we have a rival team?
Yeah, I would say the Chesapeake Bayhawks, the guys we played yesterday. Earlier in the year, we dropped our gloves and took off the helmets and had a couple guys fight.
Okay.
So anytime the gloves get dropped, and they really don't that much in outdoor, a little more in indoor. But anytime the gloves get dropped, that to me that's rivalry. So we played them tough last night. Didn't have our best game last night. Whooped them earlier in the year and lost a close one to them. So those are our guys, and hopefully we get a shot at them in the playoffs because we'd certainly like to get after them again.
All right, hold on. Let me write this down.
Okay. I have an off the wall
Let me
question.
write this down.
Yeah.
Chesapeake.
That's Virginia. Chesapeake.
It's in Annapolis, Maryland. They play out of the Naval Academy, the football stadium.
So Chesapeake Bayhawks. All right, y'all on my hate list now. Y'all up there
Yeah.
with the Saints and
Them in Dallas. And Dallas, I don't like the Dallas team either. Yeah, add them to the list. We've hated them our whole lives, right, Don?
Yep, exactly.
I have a little off the ball question, Coach.
Yep.
What do you wear during the game? Like, basketball, coaches wear suits, baseball players, they wear uniforms. So what would a lacrosse coach wear during the game?
I think some of the older generation of lacrosse coaches like to put on a collared polo and do that. That's not really me. I'm a player at heart. I throw on a long sleeve shirt, and I got a camo hat I've been wearing to kind of represent our soldiers since the first day I got the job. So I wear that hat each game and just a pair of slacks. But I want to be loose. I want to be kind of more in a player's mode, a mode where if it came down to it, I could put some equipment on and play. So I'm a little more along the lines of a player's coach dressing than a old school coach.
Coach, you can keep it real with us. So you're saying if you had to fight with the guys, you need to be comfortable.
Oh, absolutely. I need to be able to throw haymakers, and I always like to I got a good rep at New Balance. New Balance is one of the sponsors, so he sends me up some about 3-4 pairs of shoes a year so I can switch it up and keep my shoe game tight.
Oh, that shirt you got on right now pretty fresh, and I noticed the New Balance. Yeah, that's pretty nice shirt.
Yeah.
I noticed that. That's pretty fresh.
That's
Yeah.
my gamer. So my wife's actually been doing some incredible shoes. She's been painting shoes, so with the drip. So I'm thinking that I need to get a white pair of New Balances with a little blaze drip. So hopefully she'll oblige and help me out.
we we have a question in the chat. Jonathan said, I can't even get the question now. He said, "Is fighting legal? And if so, he's definitely watching." The guys suspended, or is it like hockey? Do you just have to sit down for a while? Or?
Yeah, they just sit down for a while. It all depends how far it goes. But no, when I tell you these guys hurt each other. I mean, you're swinging this 6-foot titanium pole as hard as you can, hitting somebody in the arms. It's not like these guys are full padded. I mean, the goalies, all they wear is a chest pad, a helmet, and gloves, and guys are shooting 110 miles an hour at them. Like, there's some sickos out there playing this game. I promise you that. So if you're looking for like physical guys who want to get after each other, guys who want to beat on each other a little bit, certainly you get that at our games.
One other question I had. It seems to me that is lacrosse, when we're talking about college lacrosse, is the ACC kind of the tops? Because I don't know if it's just because I live in Georgia, but it seems like when I do hear about college lacrosse or the college lacrosse championships, I'm normally seeing an ACC team in it, like a Syracuse, or is the ACC kind of dominate lacrosse?
Hello, I think we lost you.
Up.
Yeah, he froze
up. I think he's about to say absolutely.
Go back to an area that you got good connection, Coach. Yeah, I think we lost him for a bit.
I know that, George.
You guys got me?
Okay. Yeah, there we go. Yes, sir.
Sorry about that, guys. I know the ACC had 5 teams in the tournament last year, so pretty remarkable.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so where does the Blaze play their home games at?
So we're over at Silverback Stadium. So right over there at Spaghetti Junction, 85 and 285.
I know where it is.
Silverback Soccer Park.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. I know exactly where it is. They play what is that, handball over there as well. I know I have some buddies who play some handball over there as well.
I'll tell you what, it's a party over there. We go over there and practice Friday night and Saturday night, and they got a lot of soccer games going on, and the bar, we got a bar at the field, so you can watch it right from the end zone and drink some beers and get some food. So it's a pretty cool environment over there, and particularly it's kind of about it's about getting to the scene, right? It's about getting out there, having a couple cocktails with some friends, and pregame before you head downtown for the dance.
How much is a match, Coach? Do you know how much the tickets are?
Yeah. I mean, they're anywhere from $10 to $50. So $50 you can sit on the sideline like a courtside seat in basketball, and for $10 you can sit anywhere in the stadium. So it's super affordable. And after the game, like I was kind of mentioned before, it's pretty cool. The players win or lose, they'll sign autographs for the kids. Kind of it's a way to touch those players and inspire future lacrosse players.
Well, look, if y'all play a Saturday home game, I may end up buying me a $50 ticket to sit on the sideline.
Let's go. Come on in. Well, hey, how about this? How about you bring 10 friends and I'll take care of your $50 ticket? I'm into bartering.
If I bring 10 friends, you'll take care of my ticket?
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, man, we got 10 people. How many people got in the chat?
7 right now.
So, oh yeah, we can get 3 more people.
Let's go. You hit me up offline. We'll get this done.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, Coach. I really want one of those shirts, man. I can go on Atlanta Blaze. Yeah, I can go on AtlantaBlaze.com and get one of those shirts. That shirt's nice for real.
Yeah, absolutely. I will take care of you guys. You guys keep supporting me. I keep supporting you.
All right, we got you. But I want to get a shirt like tonight.
Yeah, that
I'm
shirt
talking
is
about
really
like
nice.
ordering it and having it in my house by the end of this week. Where can we get the
Yeah,
like merchandise and stuff at?
yeah. I think right online at AtlantaBlaze.com. So
I'm
you know,
definitely gonna check.
check online. There should be an apparel area up there, and you know, if not, just hit me up. I know that I saw last night things were flying off the shelves. And a great setup. Just let me know.
All right, say that again. You breaking up?
I said AtlantaBlaze.com
Hmm.
is
Okay.
where you can find all that apparel, and then you know, they got a great setup at the games. A lot of items that may not be up there as well. So if you're at the game, tons of items in there as well.
All right,
Okay.
all right, Coach. I got one more question for you, and it's a two-parter.
All
How
right,
many people are on your roster? How many players are on the roster?
And then coach, and then I'm sorry, and Matt Mike said, "Who is your best player?" He
all
put you on
right.
the
So
spot right there.
that's all right. That's all right. So we have 25 guys on our roster that we
Okay.
protect. We can only dress 20 guys for a game, and our
Okay.
best player's name is Randy Stats. There's two of them, Randy Stats and Shane Jackson. They both play for the Georgia Swarm in the indoor as well, so they play outdoor and indoor here in Georgia. But they're both in the top five in scoring this year, and just some world class players.
Cool. 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 All right. Did you that was all the questions that you received, Don?
Yeah, that's all the questions we had. As far as the Atlanta Blaze.
So,
Anybody else in the chat have anything else for Coach Banks? Somebody saying that you run making run to the store, Coach.
got 100 of this.
What you going to get you a Popeye sandwich?
I wish. I wish. I gotta go. I gotta pick up my
That was
wife at
pretty
the
good.
airport.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Ooh, you got to go to Hartsfield. Oh
I'm
man.
not. I'm not. I'm not like Coach Quinn and those other coaches with all those zeros behind their, behind their paychecks. Right. I still got to hustle.
Hey, we respect that. We respect
And
it. You know.
you all know you got to keep Mama happy. Mama ain't happy, nobody happy.
Hey, you talking to married man here? You talking to married man? So believe me, I know. My wife makes me go in the closet to do this show. So, all
So
right.
going back to so we I guess we answered everything.
So I was gonna say, Coach Banks, thanks for joining us. I'm pretty sure you're the first head coach that we've had on, right, Don?
Yep. Yep. First head
Hey, the
coach.
first head coach that we've had on. All right, and before we let you go, Coach, just tell us one more time where we can come out and support and why we should support.
Yeah, great. Hey guys, first of all, thanks for having me on, and I'll come back anytime.
Okay,
You can
good.
come out. We play September 14th at Silverbacks Park, 8 p.m. game. Last game. It's Fan Appreciation Day at the game. Should be a lot of fun, and just come out and watch because it's the fastest game on 2 feet. If you like seeing physical, fast, you like seeing people throw their body around. That's what lacrosse is. So, give it a shot. Why not? And for nothing else, if you love Atlanta sports, come out and support us. So I appreciate you guys having me on, and I hope everybody has a great night.
All right, you
Thank you,
too.
Coach Banks. You drive safe and have a good night, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
Bye.
thank
All
you.
right. Thanks.
All right, you guys. So that was Coach Banks from the Atlanta Blaze that joined us. I hope y'all enjoyed it.
I wanted to let Coach go because I ain't want him to have
Yeah,
a
get
tragedy trying to talk to us and go pick up his wife.
that'll get a ticket. So you know
Like,
how it
yeah,
is. You know how the police is in Georgia
yeah.
about that no, hands free law. But anyway,
I I saw. Come on, we all saw the background. We saw Coach House. I bet you he ain't getting disturbed in his neighborhood. Y'all saw what I saw. Stop acting. Y'all saw what I saw. Stop acting.
all right. But anyway, so guys, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. And let me tell y'all this. I'm gonna go back to what I said earlier.
I was about to
Look,
say, go ahead and get your
look,
rest of your snapping in, dog.
yeah. I would try to keep it professional because we had a coach on the show. But guys, I'm not gonna beg anybody to subscribe to this channel, and I'm not trying to sound big head or anything like that. But you know, we if you interested, if you have any questions or you want to sit up there and criticize, look, our DMs is always open. All right. Our channel is up, so you can either hit the subscribe button, or you can just come. You don't gotta subscribe. Just come look at our content. You like it, hit the like button. Subscribe. If you don't, hey, go find somebody else to listen to. That's fine. You
You
know.
don't like it, listen anyway, and just listen to be over. Look, if you don't like it, listen and let's debate about it. We're never gonna argue. We're gonna debate. If you don't like, we say, come on, debate. That's what we're doing. Sports
Exactly.
talk. You don't have to agree with us. Guess what? Me and the Don don't agree all the time. We don't. We never will. Two different people. You're gonna always disagree. So long as we can disagree respectfully, that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, and all the trolling and hating, like we don't have time for that. We don't. We really
Yeah.
don't. We really do not have time for that. All right. This show we just did was on lacrosse. The focal point was lacrosse.
It's a
So
good
I know a
show.
lot of people. I know a lot of people saying, "Oh, I don't like lacrosse." Like, but you don't know anything about lacrosse. I promise you that. So it's a great show for you to get educated on the sport. I didn't know anything about lacrosse for real.
And coach was very entertaining too. And coach was very entertaining.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, like I said, if you gonna if look for everybody who's supporting us, guys like Jonathan, the people
That
all
Georgia boy.
that Georgia boy, what's the girl name?
Z.
Z.
Z. Join all the time. Mad Mike.
Yeah,
Jonathan Foskey.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tiff Reigns, all of them. Like God, the whole unintentional ground and umbrella. They gonna support us regardless. So, like I said, you guys, either you support us or you don't. Like if you don't, like you can keep all the trolling and the hate because I'm not have time for all that. All right. So hit that like button if you like this content that we just put out. Share this video. Share our content with other Atlanta sports fanatics. It can be fans of one team or all teams. You know, share it, and then hit us up in the comment section. Don't forget this Wednesday at 9 p.m. FILA Sports Rivalry Week. It's a new segment every Wednesday this college football season. Every week we're gonna talk about college ball, and we're gonna have a focal point on the biggest rivalry that week. All right,
And
and we
the
talking about.
same.
Go ahead, coach.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say the same too, because we got plenty of players in college, and we know that so many players from the Metro Atlanta area go outside to play. So on our rivalry week, if it's a local guy who attends one of the schools that we're playing or something, highlight him so we can bring his name up on the show and talk about him and give him a little plug as well.
Yes, exactly. And if you want us to talk about some high school teams,
Mhm.
look, we'll share it on the rivalry week show.
I love high school football, high school and college football. Y'all know that I
Exactly.
love.
So, guys, if we know, appreciate it, Mad Mike. Thank you for the
Yeah.
thank you for the comment, man. But look, if you have any suggestions that to improve our show, by all means, let us know. But I think this rivalry week show is gonna be great. It's gonna be entertaining, and it's gonna be very fun to watch. All right, and if
And
you're into college ball, this is gonna be the show for you.
and Wednesday show, we have J Ben and who else do we have on? We have J Ben and
Rob Sanders.
yeah. Now I have to be familiar. I don't know Rob as much. I'm gonna go
Rob
get
Sanders,
familiar with him.
this man, he's the host of Fox Sports in Charleston, I believe, in South
Okay,
Carolina. So
okay.
he covers Clemson. So he's an expert. This man is an expert on Clemson football. So hey,
So if you guys know J Ben was he about a year ago. He was the third shift guy at 92.9 the game. So any guys who used to listen late, listen to J Ben. You also many people know that he's a professor at Kennesaw State, and many of y'all see. I remember him. Who know there used to be this huge white guy who was a bouncer who used to work security at Run and Shoot way back in the day, and I remember him. And come to find out, it was Jay Ben. I didn't know him now, but he just got to talking on Twitter one day. I'm like, that was you, and I do remember because that dude was huge. I used to be like, man, he big. That's Jay Ben as well. And Jay Ben also used to coach basketball at Westlake. He's worn several hats in the city, and he's very entertaining. He knows his stuff on Twitter as well. So I guarantee you, Wednesday will be a very entertaining show. I got to get on my toes because Jay Ben be on this stuff.
exactly. So guys, you don't want to miss it. Like we said, the show's gonna air at 9 o'clock on this YouTube channel. It's gonna be a different setup. The background, everything's gonna be different. It's gonna get to that college football feel. All right. So just please join us. Tell everybody who's into college football. It could be Georgia Tech, UGA, Georgia State, Georgia Southern, Kennesaw State, Valdosta State, West Georgia.
Valdosta State. Oh, you said that,
Yes,
didn't
I said Valdosta State, Savannah
you?
State.
DeVry.
Yes, the Rye, Georgia Military
They
College,
play throw up
Georgia
tackle over at Piedmont College.
Georgia Perimeter College, whatever school you go to, whatever school you rep, come support us. All right. So on that note, as always,
Come holla!
it's your hometown sports podcast. We'll see y'all Wednesday. Y'all make good decisions with y'all life. We out.
All right.